Okay, this is a short video about how to set up the width measurement sensor. The first and foremost thing is the sensor has to be connected to the power supply and to the Ethernet, and then a cable goes into the PLC and power for the PLC and for the Ethernet. As soon as we thread a new web, we present the web, take a look at the documentation on our website to say how far the web needs to be with the sensor. But once you have that ready, we can go into this settings screen and then go to width setup. This is where we would go in and set up what is the nominal width. So whenever you start a new job, you can probably measure the width of that. In this case, I've already done that. It's 153 millimeters. So I'm going to go in and set 153 millimeters as my limit, and then we're going to press record width. It's going to save that as the correct width. We can also set alarms and warnings, so depending upon your application. So in this case, we'll go ahead and set an upper limit of 1 millimeter for an alarm, lower limit of 1 millimeter for the alarm, and then about 0.5 millimeters on either side for the warning. These ranges are the ones that are going to trigger the stack lights. So whenever the web width is within the nominal width, which is 153 millimeters in this case, then you'll have the green light enabled. And then when it goes above by about 0.5 millimeters, you're going to have the amber light enabled. And then anytime it goes above 1 millimeter, you'll have the red light enabled. So we'll go to the home screen, and you can see that since it is within the spec, the green light is enabled. Anytime I go and it increases quite a bit, then the red light gets enabled. And if I just tilt it a little bit and the width goes up by 0.5 millimeter, then the amber light gets enabled. One of the other things that we could do is actually trend the data. So as soon as you set the limits, the upper and the lower limits, so we set it as 1 millimeter. So 153 is our nominal width, and then we have 152 as the lower limit and 154 as the upper limit, and it trends the data. Anytime that the width changes, you're going to be able to see that. The current measurement is shown here, and then a plot for about 30 seconds is shown there. So that's about it. So if you have jobs where you can do recipes, you can go into this and you can start saving those recipes here. So you can pick one of those and say load, and then you can add those recipe there. So you can say product 1, I want to put the nominal width as 150 millimeters or whatever that may be. Alarm is 2, warning is 1, and then you say save. So now that product 1 recipe is saved to that. So if you want to load a certain recipe, click on that recipe, click on load, it's going to load that. We go back to 1 and load that. We got that. Whatever that we have loaded will go in. Now if you want to take this data and put it into your main screen, you have to select that product and say accept. Then that will be the current value for the values. So it automatically took that recipe and put it as 182 millimeters. The range that we set, alarms that we set, automatically goes in there. So since that's not the right one, so let's just go ahead and load it and then put our current value there. Oops. 1, 5, 2, enter, save, accept, and now we set our current width to be 152. which is outside our limits, so you got the amber light. And then whenever you need to plot it, you can plot that data right there. So that's a brief overview of the width measurement with our PLC.